When people start their business, they always have a very important dilemma: how to name their business. It is a very difficult question, and the answer is not a simple one as well, because we tend to treat our companies like our own babies. And sometimes we obsess about the name of the company, and in my opinion, I do agree with Deborah Meaden from Dragon's Den, where she claims that the name doesn't really matter, and she actually suggests that to name your business by naming it after the first thing you see when you wake up. So that is a very interesting approach. I probably wouldn't go that far, but I also agree that probably the name is not as important as we think. My first name for my business was Struck Steel, which was the worst name possible because I was trying to be clever, and I've put in an X in between the word structural and steel, ended up with Struck Steel. No one knew how to write it down, emails wouldn't reach us, they couldn't find our website because they tended to stick the S between the X and the T. It was just a nightmare. I then asked or seek some help from a marketeer. He suggested we should not pretend we are not from Poland. So then we changed our name to Pol Steel. So probably couldn't be more Polish than Pol Steel. But to be honest, I never liked that name because it just felt like it is really putting us into a specific niche without actually being able to grow wider. So I do think that at some point the name is important, or at least could put you in a sort of category. And therefore we changed it to Stilo. And Stilo is very easy. I was surprised this name was available because it just describes what we do, steel with an O at the end. So it's very simple. But again, there's so many examples of companies with different names that either very long or very short. Like the probably longest name that everyone knows is PricewaterhouseCoopers. They did shorten it down to PwC a few years ago, but originally it was literally this long name was on skyscrapers. Yet it didn't stop them from growing. On the contrary, though, like Uber, Airbnb and so on, they tend to make them very, very short. Although having said that, Airbnb is not an easy name if we think about it. To spell it, for people who are not familiar with English language, Airbnb is a nightmare. It's a tongue twister for them. So it's really difficult, but I do think that the name has to be somehow rememberable. So it's not a very long description of something. It has to be something that is easy to remember. Also very important, it's easy to spell. And also you probably would like to have your domain with your company name, although this is also changing because probably all short words with .com have been already taken. So what people do now is they have long domains which describe what they do. So like webuyanyhouse.com. It's like we don't have to know the name of the company, yet the website is quite easy to remember. Or we buy any car, or whatever it is. There are quite a few of them now. But then again, at the end of the day, you have to like the name. Even if you decide at some stage that actually this name isn't the right name, so be it. But it is your passion, it is your business, it is you fulfilling your dream. So just go for whatever feels the closest to your heart. And if it needs changing, well then at some stage, once you convince yourself that it wasn't the right name, then do it. But then please don't spend too much time on the name itself, because there are plenty of other things that you need to sort out. First of all, making sure the customers want what you're proposing on the market. So that is what I have to say about choosing the name for your business.